They tell you to declutter, to let things go, but no one shows you how to preserve what matters, how to let an item continue its meaning even after it leaves your hands. Because not everything needs to stay, but the memories tied to it, those always deserve to be honored and passed on with intention. Most professional organizers won't tell you this. They use psychology, not just storage bins. Because if you knew these 4 techniques, you might never need their services again. We're not experts. We're not selling anything. We're just like you, children helping aging parents, adults trying to simplify, people who've lived through the emotional side of letting go. And if any part of this feels familiar, if you've ever stood frozen in front of a drawer, a photo album, or a room you avoid, you are not alone. Thousands have watched and shared stories just like yours. Scroll down and you'll see them comments filled with wisdom, struggle, and unexpected strength. So here's our ask. If even one idea in this video resonates, don't just watch. Be the extended hand for someone else. Comment, share, or simply write one word, ready. Because sometimes the hardest part is knowing you're not the only one holding on. And if any part of this video resonates with you, leave a small sign, a message, a single word like ready, or a short story you've lived through, not for attention, but so someone else reading it realizes they're not alone on this journey. Because what you've just overcome might be exactly what someone else is struggling to begin. So where do you begin? How do you let go without losing what matters? That's where Martha's story begins. Martha thought she just needed a large box, a place to gather the letters, keepsakes, and family photos to deal with later. But one truth stopped her in her tracks. Secret number 1, the future self method. Martha thought all she needed was a big box, a place to toss in old letters, family photos, birthday cards, things she would deal with later. But then she heard something that made her stop. Most adult children only keep 2 or 3 items from their parents. Think about that. You may have a full china set your kids have never used, a box of baby clothes, report cards and drawings from decades ago. We often hold on thinking, they'll want this someday. But the truth, what they want most is connection, not collection. So how do you let go without losing the meaning behind what you kept? Here's how Martha did it. You can do the same. Step 1, sort your sentimental items into 3 groups. Use it now. Don't save the good dishes for one day. Use them at dinner this week. Display the photo you love instead of hiding it in a drawer. Digitize it. Take photos. Record short voice notes or videos explaining the story. Save them to the cloud or a family group chat. Everyone can enjoy them, forever. Pass it on now. Don't wait until you're gone. Give meaningful things while you're still here to explain why they matter. Step 2. Ask with love. Martha invited her 2 daughters for lunch. Afterward, she gently asked, "Out of everything I've saved, what truly matters to you?" The answers surprised her. One daughter pointed to a small, hand-drawn picture Martha almost forgot about. The expensive china? Neither wanted it. So Martha let go with purpose. She kept only the things that still created connection in the present. The rest, she photographed, recorded stories, and saved it as a digital family album. She didn't erase the memories. She preserved them without the physical clutter. Now it's your turn. What's one item you've kept for years because it means something to you? Share it in the comments. Just one word, the item or the story, because your story could help someone else take their first brave step too. And if you're still not sure where to begin, start with one drawer, one photo, one question. Does this belong to the life I'm living now or the life I've already said goodbye to? Secret number 2, the legacy timeline technique. Martha thought she just needed a large box, a place to gather the letters, keepsakes, and family photos to deal with later. But one truth stopped her in her tracks. 65% of adult children don't want to inherit their parents' possessions. Do you have a set of china your children have never touched? A suitcase full of report cards, drawings, or baby clothes? We used to think they'll want this someday. But in most families, they only keep about 3 things. So how do you let go without feeling like you're erasing your memories? That's where the legacy timeline comes in. Step 1 is to sort your sentimental items into 3 groups. 1. Items to enjoy now. Display them. Use them. Don't let them gather dust in boxes. 2. Items to preserve digitally. Photograph them. Record their stories. Save them to the cloud where everyone can access them. 3. Items to pass on now, not later. Give them while you're still here to share what they meant. Step 2. Ask directly. Martha invited her 2 daughters for lunch. After the meal, she asked just one question. Out of all the things I've kept, what truly means something to you? The answers surprised her. Her youngest pointed to a small hand-drawn picture, something Martha never thought twice about. The expensive china set? Neither of them wanted it. From that day, Martha kept only what still connected them. The rest, she documented with stories, voice recordings, and photos, turning her memories into a digital family museum. But there was still one room Martha hadn't opened. Not because it was cluttered, but because it held everything that belonged to her late husband. That room wasn't about nostalgia anymore. It was about the fear of losing herself. And did you know? Neuroscientists have found that unused, outdated possessions don't just take up space, they also create cognitive pressure. UCLA studies show that clutter activates the brain's stress centers, the same way we respond to danger. Old items don't just fill shelves, they quietly occupy mental bandwidth. Every unused object sends a silent message. Something is undone, unresolved, incomplete. And according to energy theories in environmental physics, unused items begin to hold what's called static energy, a subtle force that weighs down the emotional atmosphere of your home over time. Letting go isn't just about decluttering, it's about releasing the past with intention. And sometimes, the best way to honor an item is to let someone else benefit from it. That dress you haven't worn in years might make a young woman feel confident on a job interview. That extra set of cookware could help a new couple build their first home. By gifting what you no longer use, you're not just making space, you're giving your things a second life with new meaning. Because maybe it was never about keeping everything. Maybe it was about knowing what deserves to stay and what deserves to be passed forward. But what about the things that go deeper than memory? The objects you don't just own, but feel like they own a part of you. That's what Martha faced next. It wasn't china or childhood drawings this time. It was something heavier. Secret number 3, the emotional anchoring system. Some items are easy to give away, but others, like a late spouse's jacket or your child's tiny shoes, feel impossible to let go of. For Martha, it was her husband's old workshop. She hadn't touched it in 5 years. Everything was still there, tools, half-finished projects. It wasn't a room anymore. It was a sacred space, a memory frozen in time. When we gently asked why she hadn't cleared it, Martha whispered, "If I let go of his things, will I forget the details of our life?" That's a fear many of us share, because some objects feel like the last thread tying us to someone we love. Here's what we told Martha. You don't have to forget, to let go. You can keep the meaning without keeping the mess. We showed her a simple method called the emotional anchoring system. Step 1. Group your most emotional items by chapter. Your partner's things, your kids' drawings, your career awards. Just name the chapter they belong to. Step 2. Choose 1 or 2 pieces that represent that story best. Martha kept her husband's favorite hammer and a photo of him building their first bookshelf. She placed both in a small shadow box on her bookshelf, so the memory was visible, but the clutter was gone. Step 3. Transform or share the rest. Make a quilt from old shirts. Create a memory book with photos and stories. Invite your family to pick one item and share what it means to them. When Martha did this, something shifted. She didn't feel like she was losing him. She felt like she was sharing him his love, his energy with the rest of the family. She turned the workshop into a peaceful reading nook. Same light, same view, but now it brought her calm instead of grief. Because sometimes decluttering isn't about what you take away. It's about what you choose to carry forward. Now we'd love to hear from you. What's one item in your home that still holds deep emotion for you? Have you found a way to honor it without holding on to everything? Share your story below. It might help someone else let go with love. But here's the question Martha never expected to ask. What happens after you let go? 3 weeks. That's how long it took Martha to release 60% of her clutter. Old boxes, forgotten furniture, memories preserved and passed on. But 6 months later, she noticed something. New items were creeping in. Little things at first, gifts from friends, deals she couldn't pass up, brochures for hobbies she wasn't really pursuing. The space was starting to fill up again, not because she wanted it to, but because no one had ever taught her how to protect the space she worked so hard to reclaim. And that's why we created. Secret number 4, the Threshold Mastery Protocol. How do you keep the clutter from coming back after you've let it go? Martha did what so many dream of doing. In just 3 weeks, she cleared out over 60% of her home. Her space felt lighter, her mind calmer. But then, 6 months later, the piles began to return. A gifted sweater, a sale item she didn't really need, a just-in-case purchase, and soon the shelves were full again. The truth is, most people focus on what to throw away, but no one teaches us how to protect our space from new clutter. That's why so many end up right back where they started. Martha realized she didn't need more bins. She needed boundaries. We call it the Threshold Mastery Pro, a system to help you say yes only to what truly belongs in your life now. Step 1. Identify your triggers. For Martha, it was 2 things: saying yes to things from others because she felt guilty, shopping for a lifestyle she no longer. Step 2. Ask better questions. Not just, do I need this? Instead, ask yourself, am I keeping this out of guilt or genuine desire? Does this reflect who I am today or who I used to be? If I say yes to this item, what am I saying no to in my space and peace? Step 3. Use the 48-hour pause. Martha set up a small consideration shelf by her front door. Anything she wasn't sure about had to stay there for 2 days. If it didn't pass her questions, it didn't stay. And something amazing happened. She started choosing clarity over clutter, peace over pressure, the present over the past. Now we want to hear from you. Is there something new in your home you're unsure about? A gift, a hand-me-down, something you bought on impulse? Comment below with one word, keep or release, and tell us why. Because when you choose what comes into your home, you're also choosing how your future will feel. 6 months after she began decluttering, Martha's home looked completely different. But the most meaningful transformation, it happened within her. The dining table, once buried under unopened mail, now hosts weekend gatherings. The dusty storage room, now a sunlit corner for watercolor afternoons with friends. And something remarkable happened with her belongings too. Instead of letting them disappear quietly, Martha took photos of her favorite items, each tied to a memory, and organized a small online charity auction. Every item that found a new home also helped fund community meals for local seniors. Letting go became her way of giving back. Most importantly, she no longer felt that heaviness in her chest every time she passed an old room. She used to think letting go meant forgetting, but now she knows. Curating what you keep is how you honor what truly matters. Your home isn't just a place for storing things. It's where your mind rests, where your emotions are recharged, and where your next chapter quietly begins. So pause for a moment. Look around your space. Is there something you're keeping just out of habit or something quietly draining your energy? If yes, don't worry, you're not alone. And if you're not ready to stop buying new things yet, that's okay too. Just remember this gentle tip. Before purchasing anything non-essential, give it a 3-day pause. If you still remember it after 3 days, go for it. If you've forgotten it, you just saved yourself a corner of calm. And if you're ready to try even one of the 4 techniques we shared, take a moment to thank the items that have been with you. Then write down 3 to 5 small actions you can take today. Start there, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you for spending your precious time with us.